Okay, moving on. وَرِضْوَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. What does that mean? That Ridwan is bigger than Allah. نَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. تَقْدِيمُ وَتَأْخِيرُ. That Ridwan min Allah, Allah's pleasure. Allah's pleasure is the greatest goal. So everything we do is what? For Allah's, yeah. So then basically, Fazail Amal Talim, stop. Why do you Fazail? Everything, why do you perform Salah? وَرِضْوَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. Why do you fast? وَرِضْوَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. That's it, Allah's pleasure. Why have all? But what happens? When you do wudu, there's a virtue. غُرًّا مُحَجَّلِينَ. Your hands will be white and shining. When it comes to Salah, the 5 Salah like what? Like a ocean or like a stream. You wash yourself in it, you get clean. Fasting, Hajj, everything has what? A reward. But yet, the ultimate reward is what? Ridwanu min Allah. What's happening here? What's the philosophy? What's the psychology in this? That you have large goals. But if you don't set smaller targets, it's hard to get those. The ultimate target is the Ridwanu min Allah, but that's when we die and we go Jannah. But if you can see when we do wudu, we have ihtisab, we have hope of reward when we're doing wudu. That wudu makes a lot much difference. That wudu is enjoyable because I'm doing wudu and I'm getting cleansed of my sins. You're performing your salah, you know that salah is a reward every time. You fast, you know it's a reward. So you have a small target. I'm getting this reward. So ultimately, each class or each set, so ultimately in this perspective, the reward is Ridwanu min Allah, Allah's pleasure. But we have smaller targets. But when it comes to, same thing happens here again. We have an ultimate goal somewhere here. But it's too far away. It's too far away. To focus on that is kind of difficult. If you set smaller targets, what happens? You achieve something, what happens? You feel satisfaction. So then you get that satisfaction. That's what you want to say. That's the same thing when you do in your Arabic classes. You're saying that if you make smaller targets, smaller modules, that's what modules are all the same thing about. You have a module, you feel, I've done a module. You actually get dopamine release. When you do that, you achieve something, dopamine, you get a high. Dopamine is released into your body because you've that achievement. So have this for the students. Smaller targets, smaller missions and the missions and targets. When you achieve something, you feel, I've got that. So maybe, for example, again, maybe instead of having a takhti alif to ya, it takes about 6 months to get that done. The takhti, the letters, roughly how long does it take, Mano? A year? Half a year? The alif, the first page. 6 months?
4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks.
You guys are too clever in this matter, huh? 4 to 6 weeks for the whole alif to ya.
Just alphabet.
Yeah. That's why it's so clever. But what you...
Sisters are not confirmed. They deem the 5 as 8.
Okay. But what we could do, for example, if it takes longer, we could say, okay, the alif is easy. Make the ba, ta, tha one set. That's one target. So when the kids reach tha, I got a sticker. What happens now? Success. Success breeds success. Remember that principle. Success breeds success. Failure breeds failure. If, for example, they got to jim and they get some ha, they haven't succeeded yet, have they? They still think I haven't finished the page. If they got to tha and they've got the tha and they got a sticker, dopamine got released. The parents praise them, the teacher praise them, they got a sticker, they've achieved something. The emotional attachment to this. So they've achieved. Now when they fail in jim ha kha, they've still got success in it. Now they've got a small target, they just got kha and they've got another sticker. You get what I'm trying to say? Dal, dal, ra, za. Now they've got another target. So these small targets have now made it, they've got small targets, they're achieving something, they're getting somewhere. So, and again, that can apply everywhere. This is a small example of the huruf at-tahajji. So, again, reward at intervals. When you reward at intervals, it helps. A sticker, a mark, even if you just say, again, you have older kids, smaller kids, you can't give like 15-year-old a sticker and like, you probably feel embarrassed to give him a sticker. But you can't try to say, you have to develop a mark work, spoken words of encouragement. I think you guys got these star charts. All of these things are this, you guys know what's going on anyway. Okay? And another thing is that the mind, again, the more something is reinforced, the more it hits home. Let me give you an example. How do we communicate with this? How do you communicate? Is ijma again? What's your preferred method of communication? Or Telegram, because it has encrypted. But anyways, that's a bit now. But between Telegram, sorry, between WhatsApp and Gmail, I'm not affiliated, I don't get commission, but which one do you prefer? WhatsApp, why? Easier? Quicker. You know straight away the guy is typing, when the blue is typing. So you get that buzz, you got the message coming right now, he's waiting for it. It's true, it psychologically plays on you. But if you've got Gmail, you might have a long email, you don't know it's coming in there. You have to send it up to the system or whatever, and it comes back down. And so everybody wants WhatsApp. Why? Because the reward is quicker. So if that small, minute difference, it's a minute. If somebody's on the other end of the email, and you know they're replying straight away, you still get frustrated. You don't know what's happening. You feel out of the loop.
Refresh.
Yeah, you keep on putting down, refreshing them. Yeah, you keep on putting down, and here you get push notifications. Example, push notifications. Why? It gives you information. So the same concept. When you reinforce the reward, there's a motivation. So a reward at might be quite long. It's a long goal. The motivation drops. If you can get a sticker at tha, at kha, and at za, you got 4 stickers. The motivation keeps on going. You get what I'm trying to say? So try to reinforcement. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay. Yeah. Again, but don't make it too easy. There's a psychological report on this as well. When you praise them, something's too easy, they know that you're just making it up. Kids are not stupid. So if it's too easy, they don't really feel reward. There's also another thing as well. Never praise somebody on their results. You don't praise them on their results, you praise them on their effort. If you praise them on their results, everybody wants praise, everybody wants motivation, everybody wants... Now, if it's results based, what happens now? What's your fear? If I don't get the same result, what's going to happen? I'm going to fall out. So what will happen? I'll never do anything risky. Risky meaning, I'll never take a new challenge. So you get what I'm trying to say? If you get rewarded for praise for learning 6 lines of sabak in hifz, why would I learn 11 for the fear of failing and only get fear of failing? If you put in, if somebody, so you say, I'm playing safe in it. I learn six lines, and when it's able say, mashallah, very good, and that's it done. Because I don't want to get that. But if you praise them for the effort, somebody goes for 18 and he falls short of 15, he starts making mistakes, say, well done, good effort. So he's not afraid. He's not going to withdraw. So when you praise them, the wording is very different, very important. If you praise them for their results, what happens generally? It's not a good result. There's a whole, just go on YouTube, you find it. Praising results or effort, and you find a video on it. There's a lot of them. But if you praise the effort, I never have failed, I still done it. You get what I'm trying to say? And they had the motivation. So anyway, yes, so it's achievable. If it's too hard, if it's too easy, it's like, there's no value in it. It's like, it's so easy. I got 20 stickers in a book, so 20 and 19, what's the difference? If it's only 5 on a 5, so 5 and 4 is a big difference. Kids fight for those, it's very important for them. And if it's too difficult, you'll never ever try. Success breeds success. Failure breeds failure. What's this? Angry Birds. Everybody knows Angry Birds. Ta'irun Ghadban. Okay? Which level is this? Level 1. You got a staff member here who's a vivid player. Okay, this is level 1. Yeah. Now, you've done it. Everybody's probably played level 1 to see how the game works, more or less. Yeah. Never played it. You're proper, mashallah. But you all you have to do is just pull that Angry Bird back, and it goes and it hits the pig, and game's done. Yeah. You do that, and then it gets a bit difficult. But each time you've done it, you think, I've got this done. And we do next level. You do next level, and I don't know how many levels there. There's so much. I just Google level 1 and last level. This is the last level. So you got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 pigs. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 combinations of different birds can do different things. Now, if you start doing it at the beginning, you can get there, are you? But why do people get hooked on the game? It's a big thing. There's 2 movies. There's merchandise. There's everything on this Angry Birds. Why is it a hit? And the same philosophy in Candy Crush. What is it? Candy Crush. I was going to train on this old dog. He's playing Candy Crush. I'm like, seriously, you got nothing better to do? Candy Crush. But anyways, why do people play something? Because you get a bit done, you get rewarded, and it goes slightly difficult. You do something, you get it done, slightly difficult. And then they make it slightly difficult, and sometimes what they do? Can't get it done, 69p, buy the thing, try to make money. But why is this so addictive? Because it's incrementally getting difficult. So you're succeeding at a rate which is not too hard, not too easy. And that's why it's addictive, these games are. Okay? Follow me? Yeah. Again, fear. Now, sadly, fear, anger, telling off has been a very common thing that we have been using, and some people still use it because they're very advanced and clever, so you probably don't use it. But just talking generally, some people use fear too much. Allah doesn't talk about fear when He says raghaban wa rahaba. There is fear when you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you do khayrat. What's the ultimate? What's raghaban? Allah brings taqdeem. What fear comes first? Raghab. Encouragement, zeal, your own enthusiasm, motivation. They call it hope. There needs to be an element of fear. But ideally is what? Hope. And when you should have too much fear of failure, humiliation, punishment, it's not going to work. They play it safe. Why? Because if I do something and I get in trouble, let's get a similar example, right? What would you rather? Would you rather have a class, have a hypothetical question, or have a class, they come in class, they stay quiet, they don't say a word, you teach them aqidah, they go home, and that's it, you get happy, you give them, you mark your results, you get exam, no problem. Or you'd rather a class that comes in and say, Masab, why do you believe in God? How can this happen? Why did the Prophet have this many wives? Why do we have jihad? Why? Because he came in class, he's answering the questions, he's getting the answers, and he's being saved. The other kids come in class, they know if I talk, myself and say, what are you asking now? That's not important. Go, shut up. Go to this other class. So it's not that you solve a problem, you've hidden the problem. And when the problem going to arise? When they leave madrasa. And who's it going to go back to then? So you'd rather have a bit of openness and a bit of where people don't feel, they're playing it safe. So that's why sometimes you see that a lot of people have become murtad. But because of the family, because of the society, now online forums, you get all these kind of stuff. So they don't believe, but they say, I can't do anything else. But why? Because they never had a chance to ask these questions. Some of it's so easy, but they become withdrawn. They don't want to participate. They're anxious, they're scared. Or if they're a bit on the other side of the spectrum, they'll hit out at you. Backchatting. So backchatting starts from, you get this, you have disrespect, you have that kind of stuff, and then it goes on. It goes on and on, it goes worse. And the learning is easiest and the most meaningful when it's not a threat. When you feel happy, when you feel comfortable, when you feel at ease. It makes a big difference. Okay? And learners should be motivated by a desire to succeed. They themselves, I want to be successful, I want to succeed, I want to develop, I want to improve. I don't want to fail, I don't want to get detention. You get what I'm trying to say? If they're motivated by fear of failure, when is that fear? What are they fearful of? How long are you going to be in their lives for? Very short time. If they have their own motivation, I love this, knowledge is beautiful, ilm is beautiful, salah is beautiful, fasting is beautiful, hajj is beautiful, masjid is beautiful. Allah, I love Allah, I'm fearful of Allah. Then you're successful. So creating a fear of you it's very short-sighted. That's just even in parenting. When the kids listen to their parents, until they're what? 12? 13? After that, if you're not friends with your kids, there's no hope. They're going to go. It's a different word. I'll talk about that later on, inshallah. Ma Muhammadun illa Rasul. When is verse revealed? Uhud. When they thought the Prophet passed away. And what was Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala historical words when the Prophet passed away? Man kana ya'budu Muhammadan fa inna Muhammadan qad mat. Wa man kana ya'budu Allah fa inna Allah hayyun la yamut. Don't fear of Muhammad. Yes, we have sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We love him, we respect him, we adore him, but we never done everything because we're scared of him or we're doing it for him. Who are we doing it for? Allah. So the whole philosophy was there. We have our own ambitions. We want to worship Allah for ourselves, not for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So same philosophy. Make them themselves want to do something, achieve something, acquire something. Yeah. But in our time, when I have heard that, in our time, So sad we hear this. We got hit and we still studied. And sometimes it's so sad. It's like sometimes we hear people. I was this talking to January 7. I was one group of. I heard one group of scholars, like scholars or teachers, before. The only complaint they have about his classes, students don't learn is, Gujarati, apni marai bhi nahi. You can't even hit anymore. But if that's niggling or that's itching you in the back of your mind, we haven't really developed. We haven't really progressed. That's the only concern that we can't hit anymore. Is that the only way you know to make people become hafiz? To hit them? You know what I'm trying to say? And people, sometimes you hear people saying stories about India and that kind of stuff, and you just think, you know what? I think we ask the wrong question sometimes. We ask, why are our kids becoming murtad? I think we should be asking, how come so many kids are staying in Islam? There'll be some of the things that we do to them. The way they get battered. Sometimes you see very viral videos going around. The way they get battered. From not here in the UK, but like in other countries, in India and places, Asia. Why would a kid even stay in it? This is what Islam teaches you. Can you really blame that kid if he became murtad? I mean, he's mukallaf in Allah, but what I'm saying is, how much blame lies on that teacher? You get what I'm trying to say? And so and people say like they say these stories and jokes and everything. How we used to get beats. We don't come Fajr. We used to have to hide from the supervisor, and we used to run away, and I know all the kind of stuff. They say it as a joke, and it may be a joke for you, but joke for who? We. Joke for we meaning what? The 50% of you who did stay. Go on Facebook and look at the 50% who didn't stay, and those 1-2% who are a bit loose cannons. See what they're writing on Facebook. You can understand. So don't say, oh, back in my time, but back in your time, looking at how many people are looking at. So you and your circle have been through a system, and despite the system you prayed, alhamdulillah, do shukr to Allah. Was it successful? If so many people left, they will become hafiz, but they left because it's too much. Too much. You said, who's we? How many dropped out? And how many were put off from ilm and madrasa and even religion? I mean, I read these stories as jokes, but reality, this is zulm. I'm sorry to say, but it's zulm. This is the highest level of oppression. Highest level of oppression. And this is da'wat al-madhlum, because that kid, what's he going to do? He's the weak. So that's something. If you perform all of the hajjud you want, but if you're going to pick on a small child who's helpless, I don't know, I'm not a judge, but in my eyes, you got no taqwa. You're a fasiq. The tahajjud doesn't mean anything. Because you take it out with al-madhlum. So little kids, and not only in here in England we can't beat because we're gonna get locked up. But what about the psychological abuse, mental abuse, torture? People are scared, anxious. They don't know what to do with their lives. You get them depression. You get them upset. You get them. Remember the kid cries to go madrasa. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And then they cried to go madrasa. I remember when I was small, I don't know, my mom keeps telling me this. It was that when I was small, when people go to Barbados, there's no social services and that kind of stuff. So I told my mom, I don't remember this, but my mom says this. My mom used to say that I used to ask her that why in school are teachers so good or why the madrasa so bad. Yasuddun an sabilillah. So what's the point of us having doing Jamaat or having a big youth program after they get 17, 18, when we had them? They were right here in our madrasa. And we drove them away, and now we want to have a program for them. I'm not trying to belittle the effort. I'm saying is that, look at you get what I'm trying to say? You go and gush, it's very good. I'm not trying to make the work small. You go and gush, very good. You have a program, very good. But why not from the beginning? I'm not saying I don't do those. I'm saying that the same kids who you drove out because of your harshness and your all of these things, you're trying to bring them back. But it's, again, what's called a paradox. Another thing I want to discuss is something called guided discovery. What does that guide mean? What does this mean? It means that instead of just telling them something, if you kind of lead them towards the truth, it makes it much more relevant. It makes it much more enjoyable. Let me give an example, right? Let's say again, we're doing fiqh. So I say, okay, today we're gonna, lesson plan. What's it called? Lesson LO. Yeah, lesson objective. Today we're gonna discuss the ruling of a traveler. In Islam, a traveler is somebody who travels. In a Hanafi fiqh, a traveler is somebody who travels more than 40? 40? Huh? 40. Al-Qalam. 48, whatever, kilometers. When you're Musafir, you can start in your salah. You don't have to finish. what if that's a bit boring, isn't it? Because the mind is not looking forward to anything. Why don't we say, have you ever traveled? You ever used a plane? You ever went on the motorway? Mona will give you his moan again. I go from here to Blackburn. Travel 6 hours. What happens when you travel 6 hours? 6 hours. 4 hours in the car. What happens? You like it? Is it fun? Travel from here to Blackburn 4 hours. Is it fun? No, you get tired. What happens when you get tired? Difficult. When you go in the plane, is it easy? No, it's difficult. What happens when a train? Is it easy or difficult? It's very difficult. What does Islam tell us about difficulty and hardship? Allah has made things easy for us. So what's one of the easy things Allah has made for us? When we're fasting, when we're traveling, we just have to half the salah. Now, by raising the questions, you basically put a mind for them. So you trap them basically. You trap their mind to come to a. So if I tell you something, it's not as it doesn't sink in as much. How tripwires. So when you're educating them, you want to just kind of get them wanting. Let me give it a little thing here. There were a group of people. They did the research. They had a group of people, right? So what they done was, obviously, what they normally do in these kind of researches is that you tell them, for example, we're calling you in to taste the biscuits, right? But in reality, we're testing whether the people in the room the light on or the room the light off ate faster. So you don't know what you're being tested for. You think, oh, you're tasting the cake or you're tasting the biscuit. So they kind of like trick you what you're being tested upon. That's how you do these kind of tests, so that you don't have biases. So they did a test. They said, we want you to do something, a kind of survey or whatever. And it's not a big survey, but a survey. So if you're interested in participating, we give you some reward. It's not a big survey, so you either have two options. So they said this group A and group B, right? And both of them offered. Both of them told them that we'll give you a reward, right? These people told them we'll give you a reward. So before the test started, we said we're going to test you coming up. What do you want your reward to be? Do you want the answers or do you want chocolate? So before the test, you pick your reward. What do you want? Chocolate or you want the answers? What do the majority of people pick? Huh? No. When you give them the choice before the question, they say, we're going to do a test and I want chocolate. Why don't I want chocolate? So majority of people pick chocolate. People like you who are very, very intellectual, they say, no, you want answers at all circumstances. But people like me who just like, it's like eating, we pick chocolate. Right? The second group of people, they did the test. After the test, they say, what do you want as a reward? The answers are chocolate. Majority pick one. The answers. When you create a question and a void, it burns you. You have to find the answer. It bugs you. So when you are teaching, just don't tell them something. It's boring. Make them want the answer. You get what I'm saying? Make them want the answer. You get it? Yeah. And if they want the answer, then it'll stick in their mind more. You get what I'm saying? It's like, if they don't know what they're being given, the value, they won't appreciate it. You get what I'm saying? And if they know that they have this zeal inside of them, why is it? Why is it like that? Then they have a question. You get what I'm saying? Right? The Prophet ﷺ, his cousin, who's his cousin? It was Ali, and the second one was Ali's elder brother, radiallahu anhu. Who's the elder brother? Ja'far. Where does the Ja'far radiallahu anhu migrate to? Abyssinia, Habasha. When did he migrate? Which year did he migrate? Before Hijrah, after Hijrah? No. He migrated before Hijrah. After Hijrah, when did he come back to Medina? When did he come back to Medina? After Khaybar. So when Khaybar happened in the year, so Hazrat Ja'far, the Prophet's cousin, they migrated, they left Medina, they left Makkah Mukarramah before Hijrah, about 5-6 years before Hijrah, but before Hijrah. They stayed in Abyssinia, and he left, so he was in Abyssinia. The Prophet was in where? Makkah, then the Prophet moved to Medina. In Medina now they have their own But Hazrat Ja'far stayed there for another 6 years. Why? I want to know you. That's the whole point. Now you want to know the answer, find out the answer. Now it's bugging you now, isn't it? Why not come to Medina? When all the Sahaba left Makkah to come to Medina, and now they're all in Medina, they're at peace in it. Why did he say 6 years? Why did not a Sahabi, his cousin? So he loved him as a cousin. He loved him as a messenger, and he's still in Abyssinia. Why did he not come back straight away? Why not do hijrah from Abyssinia to Medina straight away? Why did he stay there for another 6 years? I'm not telling you. But the point is, now you're thinking, why did he say another 6 years? So if I tell you now, you value it. I'm not going to tell you. Okay, sorry. We get the point. Now if I just told you this before, you would not have stuck in your mind. So if I come against and I tell the answer then, and then you remember the rest of your life, are you going to search for it? But you get what I'm saying? That the value of the information, the value has gone up. Because why? The value of something is why, based on what? Based on demand. Now the demand for that answer. So the value has gone up. So if you put the demand in the student's minds, what happens? They value the answer more. Good. Another thing you have to look at, the goal of teaching. What is the goal of teaching? It's not just about telling stuff. One of the ultimate goals of our education system is to shift the burden of pursuing knowledge to the individual. That you yourself, your passion, your zeal, your enthusiasm, you are able to transfer that to the student, and they themselves want to learn. They themselves have a zeal. They themselves have a knowledge. That's the ultimate goal. If you have that, then that will carry on for life. And as I say that Chinese saying Confucius, give me a fish, I will eat for a day. Teach me to fish, I will eat
For life.
for life. So you have to transfer the zeal for knowledge. You have to transfer the zeal of Islam. You transfer the zeal for Salah. Transfer this everything. Transfer onto them. That's the ultimate goal. And again, the child's mind, it's impossible for you to be able to teach a child everything they need to know. It's impossible. You could teach them a lot. So that's why we think the child's mind is not a bucket, you just fill it with information. There's certain knowledge that you need to have, but it's more of a tool. And you sharpen that tool, you get that tool ready for later events. You sharpen your mind. You not sharpen it. You make that mind a tool, so they understand how to deal with aqidah masail. They understand how to deal with fiqh masail. They understand how to deal with social masail. You can't teach them every single thing. If they understand the concept, if you train their minds, then they can apply the concept everywhere else. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Now again, I don't know how many people this applies to. I don't really hold back. I just say as it is. If I'm wrong, then please correct me. I think subconscious. Learned behavior is very powerful. I have a slide that coming up later on. We subconsciously sometimes, I don't know how over here you seem much more well educated and much more well trained. But sometimes we subconsciously teach our children pride and arrogance. Our students. Because if a teacher behaves in an arrogant way, he does this nas and that. What happens? What do you automatically do? You teach him that.
Yeah, obviously.
If you for example, like a pen falls down right here, and I'm gonna tell it, come, how are you? So he's just learning what? You just taught him, well, either when I get older, when I get bigger, when I become a Maulana, when I become a dad, when I become big brother, I'm gonna make people do that for me as well. That's what you taught them. If you're a teacher and you're just like telling off people, shouting at the kids, well, you've subconsciously taught them this is how you treat your little brothers, this is how you treat your students, this is how you treat somebody inferior to you. So you're teaching them with your behavior, you're teaching them. And this is something it's very common amongst our circles in education. Maybe it's gone better now, but for some of the things that I've seen and experienced, we do this a lot. We do all of this. What are we doing? We are literally teaching, and then you can't expect them when they do the same thing that would be. Why are you telling them off? You taught them this. Why don't you teach them as mature adults? I mean, sometimes you see, it's a bit, again, You see little kids like kids non-Muslims or kids who have parents who are very don't tell their kids off. Sometimes they make them too much, like they're going to motorbike. They pray them too much. Sometimes. But at the end of the day, you see a kid 5 years old, he's talking with confidence, he's talking nonsense, but he's confident. Where's he get confidence from? He's not humiliated. He has that openness, he has that confidence. Okay, sometimes you look at some footballers, 18, 19 year olds. They're giving they go through training, social media and social they have that media training. But they're 18, 19 year olds giving interviews on public TV, massive TV, and millions watch them. They don't feel scared, they probably get, but they do get trained. But then we get trained as well. But we feel so scared because we've always been put down. Any question we ask in Madrasa, do we done that? Yes, I can go. Beowulf, you stupid, shut up. So there's no confidence. You feel scared. You should have a humility within them yourself that I'm speaking in front of elders, I'm speaking in front of ulama, so I'll make sure I say that's fine, that's a respect. But if you have this because you're broken down, I don't have confidence. Sometimes you see kids in the secondary schools and these like really good, well-run schools, very confident themselves. They conduct themselves, they interviews. Sometimes they talk nonsense, but they're very confident in nonsense. You can say. So why treat them as mature adults. And I find it's very short-sighted. It's very short-sighted. Remember, today's child is only for a few days, few years he's going to be a child. I remember, again, I discussed my bad habits. I went up for a late night snack once to a restaurant, not a restaurant, takeaway, about 11 o'clock at night, late at night. And I went to one of these takeaways, and it was like a bit of like gangster kind of people. It was very long time ago. So I was in and like just keep my distance a bit. Not scared, but just like okay, involved with him. And I heard, Malisa. I'm like, oh. One of the gangsters was one person who I taught in the maktab. And that event kind of changed my life. Because I was thinking, 2-3 years ago, he's 18 now, but he was 16 a couple of years ago. So he was in our maktab. You have to analyze the situation. He's not going, you can shout at him, give him detention, all that. You just build up anger in him against you. How long is he going to be 16 for, 14 for? In this 4 years' time, he's going to be an adult. And that same child can either do wonders for the ummah or cause problems for the ummah. So when you treat them immaturely, when you treat them like that, you might feel good for a while, but you're not creating a product for the long term. You want them to be, everyone's like going on Malisab, I happen to become a Hafiz, but if he goes into politics, he goes to become a lawyer, becomes a carpenter, he can a dustbin collector, it doesn't matter. But at least he has love for his religion, he has love for his teachers, he has love for his madrasa. Again, sometimes you have this, like, the Qur'an, they do all this kind of stuff. Like, when you do like, the Qadi's house. Like, Alhamdulillah, like, you have much for Alhamdulillah, like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks, sometimes in cases made it for so long. Now, I'm not Qadi, so I can't comment, right? But it's a question, right? If you have to do the Ha Makhraj takes like 5 months to practice, maybe it does. That's why mine's not right. But then, why do you treat them like so much? When I explain to them, why not just tell them, you know what, the Ha Makhraj is quite difficult. So what you do, go through the Quran, wherever the word Alhamdu comes, learn all of those ayat. So along with Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, you can learn Alhamdulillahi Fatiri Samawat, you learn the Fa, you learn the Ta full mouth, the Ra empty mouth. We're just doing this to make ourselves feel good. This is an example of them. But do we do things as teachers? We're trying to make ourselves like get importance. It's a question, I don't know. As I said, I'm not qualified in any aspect, just thoughts I'm sharing with you. Another thing I find very important, I bought this one book, it's a useless book for me, but one sentence in there, life changer. Treat them to appreciate, it's called suspended judgment. Suspended judgment. What does it mean, suspended judgment? Teach them that sometimes don't rush to conclusions. Because when you go out, they're going to watch YouTube, they're going to go to university, so they're going to hear things about atheism, they're going to hear things against Islam, they're going to hear, it's common. If from a young age, you as a teacher yourself, practically, you teach them La Adri, I don't know, I look for the answer. You practically teach them how to suspend judgment, how to acknowledge that I don't know something, there's an answer, I don't know it yet. They become more willing to embrace the fact that I don't know something, I will find the answer. Sometimes we have that. maybe not in Maktab, but let's have a chance on a difficult question. Just tell them, I don't know the answer. It's a very good question. I love the answer for you to come back. What have we taught them? And the answers are there to find them. Sometimes we feel like our honor is being attacked. If you don't give the answer, that child will think, oh, Masala doesn't know anything. But if you teach them this, what will happen? He will understand subconsciously. Learned behavior will be that there's nothing wrong in saying, I don't know, I'm looking for the answer later on. You get what I'm trying to say? I remember there's this video. I can't find it. I was looking for it, I can't find it again. There's this lady from an Arabian country. She's on German TV. She had left Islam. Right? And people leave Islam like really difficult problems or very difficult questions. Or, you know. She left Islam because I studied in the books that, you know, the malaika in the skies and when I did science and I realized it's not true. Like, really? Seriously? That's not even like that. That's like such a it's not even a really, I never heard this before. Like, but she's so judgmental that one thing like she couldn't understand. And she did Islam. It's just similar. The sky isn't, the angels not on the clouds. Allah's arsh not on the clouds and like, you know, like how they have Zeus and all this Egyptian, call it, the Greek mythology. It's not like that. If it's somebody, well, you don't know the answer now, I don't know the answer, we learn, we teach them practically and there and then. I can find the answer later on. What will happen? You can, they'll learn this. So when they get a problem, when they go to university, if they have this thing that the answers are always there, and they never learn that, they become like they're not sponges, they can absorb a question and just ease into them and find the answer. As opposed to, oh, don't know answer. Teachers panicking, they're panicking, you get told off, no. Okay, I don't know the answer. Sometimes I teach them this. I remember myself once, there's this one Arab atheist, he's on YouTube, I'm not telling you what the question was, obviously I don't confuse anybody. But he put some like, questions, because he's Arab, so he knows stuff, and from Hadith Allah, he put some questions, some ayat of the Quran. It was quite a punt for me as well. I was shaking for a few days. But again, I was like, I had me thinking. I was not doubt, it was like, how do you answer the question? Then you start thinking about it, processing, and goes, okay, yeah, you can answer this way, that way, look for it, and then even, I have no problem, I've got an answer solved. So you will come across things which will shake you. Was that ayah? حتى يقول الرسول والذين متى نصر الله. Even the Rasul was saying, حتى ظنوا أنهم قد كذبوا the different قراءات. The Rasuls were shook. That's how hard it was when so you get shook, you get shaken up. So make your children earthquake proof, that they can handle the shocks that they get. You have an atheist coming at them and just ripping them apart. Just accept the fact that you can have a question which you don't know. You don't have an answer. You have to find it, absorb it, so that when they go out. That's what happens sometimes. Like some people, they're in a system, and straight away something happens. They can't find the answer. Everything they have, whether they leave Islam, whether they leave Hanafiyyat, whether they leave whatever. Because one question came. So one brother who puts a hadith against a Hanafi mazhab, and he doesn't know how to deal with it, because all his life he's been thinking that everything in Hanafi mazhab is right and it's the most authentic. But then a brother comes to him that this doesn't match a Hanafi mazhab, so now he does adopt a whole mazhab. That's fine. Yes, this is correct. In this aspect, the Hanafi mazhab doesn't match the hadith as strongly because of other certain circumstances. And that's true. This mazhab, the hadith aspect, the Hanafis don't have a strong thing, but they have ta'amul, they have this. You understand to sponge in these discussions. What happened? And he's okay, yeah, I understand. You've got a point. This mazhab, maybe the Hanafi mazhab is a bit weaker than the other mazhab from a hadith perspective. They can observe. They don't just reject, completely go against everything. In religion, they say, well, these are one of the difficult hadiths to explain. You finally look for a solution. Something I've bugging for years, but he's suspended his judgment. He's been taught how to say La adri. I don't know now. And I don't have to know everything right away, the answers. It can take time to find a solution. But if we have the thing that any of a question comes, we either answer it, if we don't know, we dismiss them. Then they don't learn this La adri. You have to teach them. You can't just go, this La adri is so virtuous thing, I don't know, but you don't know it yourselves. So be honest. This is what sidq is, isn't it? If you can say, I don't know. That's what humility is. You say, well, at this point in time, I don't know. And it's not like, I guess you have younger students, but as older students, when they come to you, it's not like a competition. If they get a question that you don't know the answer to, that now they're cleverer than you and you've been embarrassed. We're all students, we're all in the learning process. And when you take these things on, you might get better. The more questions you take in from your students, the more you learn about the thoughts that are going on in school, what questions they have been faced with. Okay. They'll be able to deal with it.